let's talk about something that a lot of WWE fans either don't want to admit or simply choose to ignore: the real reason behind the return of Evolution 2. Yes, that event, the second ever all-women's premium live event from WWE, scheduled to take place on July 13th. It's been 6 long years since the first Evolution, which was promoted as a celebration of women's wrestling, progress, and empowerment. And now, in 2025, WWE is bringing it back. Historic? Sure. Long overdue? Absolutely. But if we're being honest with ourselves, and I mean truly honest, this isn't happening because of some deep-rooted desire within WWE to continue elevating women's wrestling. No! Evolution 2 is happening for one reason and one reason only: AEW. See, this isn't about honoring the women's division, it's about counter-programming. WWE is doing what it has always done: respond to threats. AEW's All-In Weekend is a massive deal. It's AEW's first true stadium show in the United States. It's going down in Texas, at a stadium no less, and WWE has taken note. And instead of letting AEW have their moment, WWE does what WWE always does: they load up the calendar with programming, spread across multiple brands, designed to flood the wrestling space and make sure fans are focused on their product and not anyone else's. And in this case, it comes with a slick PR move in the form of Evolution 2. Now, let's rewind back to 2018, because that's where the seeds of this tactic were first planted. Back then, the first Evolution pay-per-view was held. It was praised across the board, deservedly so, because the women absolutely delivered. You had Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in a last woman standing match that many still consider a match of the year candidate. You had legends like Trish Stratus and Lita returning. And of course, Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's Championship against Nikki Bella in the main event. It was a big deal at the time, not because WWE had suddenly grown a conscience, but because they were under pressure. Saudi Arabia had become a new business partner, and due to the country's restrictions, women weren't allowed to perform on the show. That created backlash. Fans were furious, talent was frustrated, and WWE had to act fast. Enter Evolution, the feel-good, make-good event that softened the blow. But what happened after that? Nothing. No follow-up. No Evolution 2 in 2019. No annual tradition. For years, WWE talked about their so-called women's evolution, but when it came time to put their money where their mouth was, they fell silent. So, forgive me if I'm a little skeptical about this sudden resurgence of support for women's wrestling. WWE isn't just waking up one morning with a newfound appreciation for its female superstars. They're responding to competition, plain and simple. This year, AEW All-In is positioned as their biggest domestic show to date. It's on a Saturday night, July 12th, and it's going to be massive for them. So what does WWE do? Well, they stack the deck. On Friday night, you get SmackDown. Then on Saturday, you get NXT's Great American Bash, which is going head-to-head with All In. And then, the very next night, WWE drops Evolution 2. It's a weekend blitz, a full-on assault designed to keep fans locked into WWE programming and overshadow AEW's moment. It's not coincidence. It's not happenstance. It's strategy. What's even more fascinating is how WWE fans are reacting to this. The diehards who think AEW can't do anything right are bending over backwards trying to convince themselves that this is just WWE being generous, supportive, and all about the women. But the truth is that AEW's success and momentum have forced WWE to move. It's the same story we've seen time and time again. When there's a threat, WWE responds, and they always wrap it in a nice little bow so it doesn't look like what it is: a counterattack. It's not just Evolution 2 that's part of this weekend. Reports suggest that Saturday night's main event will feature something major, possibly Goldberg's retirement match. That adds even more heat to the weekend. And if you step back and look at the full picture, WWE has carefully crafted a 3-day content tsunami. Friday night SmackDown, Saturday night NXT and Goldberg, Sunday night Evolution. Meanwhile, AEW is trying to pull off their biggest show of the year, and they have to do it while WWE is pulling every lever they can to distract, detract, and dominate the conversation. Now, is this smart business by WWE? Yes, absolutely. That's what they do. They're not just a wrestling company, they're an empire. They've been doing this since the territorial days, whether it was NWA, WCW, TNA, or now AEW. WWE knows how to play this game. Remember when TNA tried to reboot Monday Night Wars by putting Hulk Hogan on their show in 2010? WWE responded by bringing back Bret Hart. of all people, to appear on Raw that same night. This playbook is older than most of the fanbase. WWE doesn't sit back and let someone else steal the spotlight. They never have. So, while I'm excited for Evolution 2, genuinely excited, I'm not blind to what it really is. I support women's wrestling. I want to see these women succeed and shine on a grand stage. I want to see title matches, dream matches, returns, and moments that we remember. But I also understand that this isn't being done for them. It's being done in spite of them. The women's division is being used as a pawn in a larger game between billion-dollar companies fighting for your attention, your money, and your loyalty. This isn't about whether AEW is better or worse than WWE. This isn't about tribalism or fanboyism. This is about recognizing the motivations behind the moves. WWE had 6 years to bring Evolution back. 6 years to make it a yearly tradition. 6 years to continue giving women their own spotlight in a meaningful, consistent way. They didn't. Not until AEW started making real waves and putting on real competition. That's not a coincidence. That's business. Of course, you're going to see the usual buzzwords thrown around when Evolution 2 gets promoted. Empowerment, progress, history, milestone. And yeah, sure, it is historic. It is important. And those women deserve every single second of spotlight they get. But we can't pretend that this is being done out of the kindness of anyone's heart. This is calculated. This is warfare. This is WWE being WWE. Some fans will disagree. That's fine. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But to pretend that WWE doesn't see AEW as a threat is simply naive. Tony Khan has made moves that got under their skin. From booking big stadiums to signing former WWE talent to giving real creative freedom to his roster, AEW has carved out its own niche. It may not be as big as WWE yet, but it's significant enough that Vince McMahon, or whoever's calling the shots these days, feels the need to react. Evolution 2 is that reaction. It's also worth pointing out that WWE probably would have tried to go head-to-head directly with AEW's All In if they could have. Maybe they realized that the optics of running Evolution at the exact same time as All In wouldn't sit right with some people. Maybe they thought Sunday was a better night for a standalone event. But that doesn't change the fact that this entire weekend is built to suffocate AEW. WWE wants to own the narrative. They want to dominate the headlines. And the best way to do that is with a content overload that leaves no room for AEW to breathe. And let's not forget the people behind the scenes pushing for this. The women of WWE have been vocal for years about wanting a second Evolution. People like Bayley, Bianca Belair, and others have said in interviews that they were hoping for this show to return. So yes, the talent wants this, the fans want this, but management didn't act until they saw an opportunity, not for the women, but against the competition. At the end of the day, I'm going to watch Evolution 2, I'm going to support it, I'm going to talk about it, preview it, review it, and celebrate the performances. But I'm also going to be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat the reasons why this show is happening. It's not some magical return based on goodwill or fan demand. It's part of a larger chess game, and the women just happen to be the pieces WWE is moving across the board. That's not a knock on the talent. It's a reality check on the system, and the sooner we accept that, the clearer the picture becomes. You can love WWE and still acknowledge their tactics. You can love women's wrestling and still recognize when it's being leveraged for strategic gain. Both things can be true. In fact, they are true. So, while AEW continues to build toward its biggest night in Texas, they'll have to deal with the noise. The machine is roaring, and WWE is throwing everything at the wall to make sure they stay at the top.